Before we jump into the papers fully today, we're going to take a couple of clips off the internet, still paper sort of thing, and we'll start with the usual reliable scum. Migrants pay £40 pay Wolverhampton Council to hand £500,000 a year to immigrants because they're not eligible for benefits. However, if you are from this country, if you were born in this country and you apply for benefits, we'll sanction you and kick you off them. The Guardian. DSB Bank faces large compensation bill and fines over online chaos. Chaos! We need to bring in a new world order to get us out of their chaos! MPs demand action as almost 2 million customers remain locked out of accounts. Latest updates in the live blog, blah blah blah. Now, so they're going to get a massive fine. And here's how it goes. They're going to tap a few keys on the keyboard and apparently that money magically appears in the fine office. That's all they do. Same as when you go for a loan. There you go, you've got some money in your account now. Where did that money come from? Oh, we just tapped the key numbers in and it appeared in your account. As if by magic. Yes, as if by magic. In fact, it was magic because we don't have any money. We can't lend any money. We're not allowed to. And the myth about lending depositors money is just not allowed. It's not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to do that. So, that's how that's done. Daily fail. Now Kate's under fire from mums who say she looked too perfect because she never gave birth. It was grown in a test tube just like Dolly. Computer meltdown hits up to 2 million. Frantic customers can't use cards or see accounts. And chaos could last weeks. Chaos again! Chaos! New World Order, bring it in to stop that chaos. Oh, we'll bring a New World Order in out of the chaos. Totally shambolic banking. The scum. Kate's mum moves in and nanny helps with baby too. So, she's not going to be looking after the kid. Got a nanny to do that. When it gets old enough, it'll be off to boarding school to learn what's really going on this planet, not the bullshit that we're taught at school. Apparently, now I remember this from 20 odd years ago, where American children couldn't read an analog clock. Apparently they've managed to dumb us down so much now. Pupils only read digital. Thick talk. Schools act old clocks as kids can't tell time. What an absolute lie. And if they can't, it's because they've not been taught by the school. The Guardian. Fire tests in wake of Grenfell condemned. Method of testing cladding inadequate and lab results flawed, says insurers report. It is a matter of urgency that we create the right testing regime that replicates real world conditions. Windrush man to start NHS cancer care. Well, he's in the shit then, because he's going down the official route. They're going to kill him. Chemo, 97% failure rate. But hey, I get it that you see a man in a white coat and you think he's a doctor, he knows what he's talking about. Well, let's just compare that comparison, shall we? White coat. I'm a doctor. I've psyched, and I'm telling you now, chemo will kill you. Radiation will kill you. Any of their conventional methods are out to kill you, not to heal you. The other special relationship. Now, if you look in particular at the men, they both seem to be standing on the square. That's not by accident, by the way. The Times. Science fact: how Kubrick got the future right in 2001. Judge slams advisors to parents of Elfie Evans. And what the F would a judge know about it? Is he a doctor? No. But apparently anyone other than him is incapable of making the right decision as to whether to kill a kid or not. Oh, but then again, judges are in the same boat as MPs. Yes, they like their children served to them. The picture, the US and France again. Now this just shows you what we'll talk about next, how pathetic they think we are. Ban on junk food deals as obesity drive unites MPs. So what this is a ban on you eating more food, right? Because you're incapable of making. Actually, I'm full of, in fact I was out for a meal last night. My brother was over opposite me. Before we started he said, "Oh, I'm absolutely starving, that's why I got here a bit early." And then as the night progressed, he couldn't finish his food because he was full. And you know what he did then? He stopped eating. Wow. Self-awareness is amazing, isn't it? So, action against 2-for-1 offers within weeks. So you go into a restaurant and they're doing 2-for-1. So you and the missus go in and, well, 2-for-1, we'll have 2 of them then, please. Now it's going to cost you double. You see what they're doing here? They're trying to push the price of food up so to the point where you can't afford it. Party leaders urge May to tackle health crisis. Okay, and we're going to do that by starving everyone to death, or making it so expensive they can't afford to eat and they starve themselves. Johnson attacks May. Boris Johnson became very agitated and annoyed with Theresa May as a cabinet meeting calling for a wider immigration amnesty after the Windrush fiasco. This is what the Windrush was all about. I'll get back to that later though. Tycoon swayed polls. Anti-corruption investigation in France have determined a tycoon on suspicion of unlawful, I can't quite see that, swaying African elections. Yeah, well, all elections are fixed, so there's no big difference. GKN stinging the tail. The takeover battle for GKN will cost Melrose shareholders 220 million. Well, if they've got that amount of money, they've got too much, haven't they? Ipso holds complaint against the Times. Ooh, Times, been naughty, haven't we? Tower Hamlets Borough Council complained to the Independent Press Standards Organisation about the Times breach. Oh, well, what a shock. A paper doesn't do what they're supposed to and suddenly finds they're in trouble. Oh, it's so shocking when that happens. You just wonder, you know, how it can happen. But I digress. The Express. Judge decides to kill Elfie. Judge rejects last plea to fly Elfie to Rome for treatment. Now, remember this happened last year as well, I think, where the kid, the judge ruled that he had to die. If this isn't evidence that you don't own your kids, you don't have any say in what happens to your kids, there it is. The paedophiles say what happens to your kids. Did you hear how they plan to kill him? By injecting with 2 drugs that they use in America to execute convicted murderers and those on death row. And they want to do that to a little baby. Abuse of elderly must be hate crime. I agree. It is. So is abuse of babies, which that is. Meet the first ladies of fashion. Although I've just noticed there it's Esther Ranson, she was heavily tied into Jimmy Savile, just so you know. The Star. Alfie's brave fight. But it's not enough because the judges said, you're going to die, we're going to kill you. Hated soap boss. I'm so proud of Corrie Bloodbath. Right, so the main headline in this rag is about Coronation Street. A fictitious street with fictitious actors playing roles that have been written for them, and this is the front headlines. There's no real news, no coverage of the corrupt councils, the corrupt government, the corrupt police, the corrupt courts. No coverage of that whatsoever. Just keep watching the soaps because, you know, we'll keep you distracted so long enough that we bring in, which is already here by the way, a dictatorship, and we're just going to get it to the point where we've got the iron fist and then we're going to start executing you, just like Elfie. Don't worry, you carry on watching Coronation Street. The Mirror. Confessions of a Divorce Lawyer. Amazing real-life tales of love split, rows and revenge. Great. Our army has only 60,000 combat soldiers, and some dickhead PM said that within 2 years we'll be ready to fight Russia. Okay, so there's 6 million soldiers against our 60,000. Good luck with that one. But on the other hand, why would you want to fight Russia? It's been evidenced they didn't do the Skripal attack. It's been evidenced there was no attack in Syria at all. But hey, you know, you believe what you want to believe. 5 organ swap joy. He's my little miracle. J7 has life-saving transplant from 1 donor. Oh dear. That's just because I'm not going to go into that. The Telegraph. Royal baby boom. The 3 little ones sparking a 225 million shopping frenzy. If you are stupid enough to go and waste money on clothes so they can look like those parasitical children, then maybe we are doomed. Boris calls for illegal immigrant amnesty. Anyone in the UK for 10 years without a criminal record should be able to stay, says Johnson. Now, we talked about Windrush earlier. This is what I was telling you it was about. This is what it's been about all along. Not about the Afro-Caribbeans. It's been about the rest of the immigrants. And because they deliberately screwed up the Windrush lot, they're now going to say, they can all come and they can all stay. That's what it was really about. And of course, you saw the headlines where the 89-year-old African woman, Caribbean woman, got turned away from the country that she's lived in for like 89 years or something like that, 79 years, whatever it is. And of course, that's wrong. This is also wrong, but this was the plan all along. You've got to get it into your heads. Whatever they do, there's a reason down the line that they're working to. This is part of that reason. NHS approves new prostate treatment, which is as good as the old, doesn't work at all. French kissing in the USA. Housing wealth must fund care. Basically, if you're old, you're going to have to sell your house to fund your care. another way of them stealing your property. And this goes on every single day by the corrupt social services who say, oh, you're ill, we need to put you in care, but you're that ill, don't worry, the NHS will cover it. And then they get you into care. And they say, oh, actually, you're not that ill, so we're going to have to sell your house. Just so happens we've got to buy a knockdown price, friend of ours, you know, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, how it goes. But I don't want to sell. Well, it's too big. We've got to fund it. You're out of the house now. We're selling it. Macron adds his support to new Iran deal. That's what the picture above is about, apparently. The anything but Independent. Statue of Suffrage. Millicent Fawcett bronze unveiled. Arctic emergency. Microplastic waste discovered in sea ice. Show me the evidence. More than #Me Too. Why theatre needs to get political. US leads France towards a new deal. Emmanuel Macron joined Donald Trump in calling for revamped Iran agreement at the White House. Brussels fears EU citizens will be new Windrush. Told you that's what it was all about. Europe chiefs demand guarantee from UK as anxiety grows. That's what it's always been about. And there it is in the headlines there, telling you what their plan was all along. And who are Europe to demand anything from us? Oh, but they could only demand it if we weren't leaving, which of course we're not. It's a scam. Thankfully, most of us haven't been had because we can see it. The time for action is coming very, very soon. In fact, it's probably here now. Because the more you just sit on there, you see, watching videos and not doing anything and not talking to others and telling them and getting the news out as what's really going on, the more their plan will proceed. Aye. Quality, concise, the future of independent journalism. It just makes me smile, you know. You just got to have a laugh at it. New sunscreen made from seaweed is good for your skin and the planet. And it's hopefully not got aluminium in, which all other sunscreens do, which causes Alzheimer's and many other diseases. And then you rub it all over your body and it gets absorbed into your body, goes straight to your brain, starts killing brain cells. You wonder why Alzheimer's is on the rise? That's one of the reasons. The other, of course, being the chemtrails in the skies. Toxins in the food, toxins in the water. On the right there. Starting new discovery, rewrite science. The bank that likes to say, oops, TSB hit by IT catastrophe. Britain's best universities for 2019. Well, unless you're going to the elite universities, you don't get to know what's going on. And even then, you've got to have enough money so that they know that you're from the right side. Or the wrong side, as it turns out. The new special relationship. Trump rolls out red carpet for Macron. On the left there, Lily Cole. Why are we stealing penguins' food? I'm not. Don't blame me for it. I ain't done no. I like penguins. Nice chocolatey biscuits. Jewish leaders lash out after showdown with Corbyn on racism. If you don't like it, you can always go home. Attempt by Labour leader to defuse anti-Semitism row backfires after a highly charged meeting. Board of Deputies and Jewish Leaders Council accuse him of failing to take action. What the hell has a Jewish Leader Council got to do with anything? You want to rule things? Go back to Jerusalem or Israel or better still, somewhere in Africa where all you is the whole of Israel, the Jewish part of it anyway, needs moving to an uninhabited part of Africa. Leave them there, put a big wall around them, and there'll be a hell of a lot better planet. Metro. It must be amour. Trump, Macron, and a very special relationship. Yeah. Toxic Arctic. Microplastic found to have reached record levels in the ice. Pollutants entering food chain and could be health risk. And you know what? It's all your fault. Because you trusted the council, who then took your plastic and dumped it in the sea. But don't worry about it, because we've only dumped it in the sea so that we can blame you. Financial Times. Facebook cleaners inside social network content vetting unit. Great. Greenwich Means, Connecticut hedge fund, yeah. Drug problem, rash off farmer mergers won't help consumers. Macron open to new Iran nuclear deal. Push for British satellite system after Brussels snub over Galileo. Post-Brexit security fears in EU. Question looms for UK industry, Airbus jobs at risk.